I was born on August 27th, 1943. This means I am 70 years old. Right now, my maiden name was Suzy Weaver.
I was born in Berkeley, California. My mother, Martha, was a substitute teacher. My father, Harry, worked in a real estate.
I started writing letters at 8 years old to my grandfather in Indiana. My favorite subject in school was creative writing. I didn't get the highest grades. I made a lot of spelling mistakes. I got a lot of S's for the spelling mistakes, which means satisfactory.
I have a family of 4, including 2 children. I have 2 darling daughters named Emily and Jennifer. My husband's name is Rufus. Rufus has worked as a college professor, newspaper writer, and a children's author.
I met Rufus while attending the University of California.
I also attended Columbia University and graduated from the University of California at Berkeley with a degree in European history.
When I was 8, I wrote letters to my grandfather. My aunt said that the letters made my grandfather live a little longer.
That inspired me to write.
I won many awards for writing. Here are some awards I won. The West Virginia Children's Book Award, the International Reading Association Children's Choice Award, and the Probus Educator of the Year Award.
The awards inspired me to keep writing, and it made people want to read my books.
I wrote my first book in one night. Even though I'm a really good author, my first book didn't get published, and it took a lot of perseverance to write the next book and get it published.
I've taught 2nd and 3rd grade and 5th and 6th. I've gone all over the United States to help children enjoy reading and writing.
Here is a summary for Horrible Harry Takes the Cake.
Harry and Doug find out that Miss Mackle, their teacher, is getting married. Harry's grandmother makes the cake. Mary tells them that there was an engagement party in the library. The new substitute teacher, Mr. Fluber, assigns an animal project. Harry and Doug are at first move interest in who the groom in room 3B is. Harry investigates and causes mischief. We found some examples of Harry being horrible. Harry sneaks into the back room to find out who the groom is, but when he sees the cake, he can't resist taking the evidence with the groom's name on it. Harry lied to his friends in the cafeteria. He told them that his grandmother gave him and Doug a sample piece of cake. While Harry was in the library, he waited until the librarian was out of the room, and he snuck into the back room where the leftover cake was stored.
We found some examples where Harry was not horrible. Harry confesses to taking the cake because he feels guilty about it. Harry worked hard on his Tasmanian Devil report. Harry stayed after school, which was his punishment for taking the cake. He swept the floors, cleaned all the tables, and wrote an apology note.
This is a summary of Horrible Harry moves up to 3rd grade. First, Harry and Doug get lost going to their class on the first day of school. Once they found their classroom, Doug told the class that he went to the mine this summer. The class decides to go on a field trip to the mine when Doug tells Harry he was too scared to go in.
When they get there, Harry helps Doug with his fear. When they get out, Sydney is missing. Everybody was scared, but Sydney appears.
Here are some examples of Harry being horrible. Harry steals Sydney's burnt wiener. Harry made Sydney run laps. Harry held up a fist and was thinking revenge. Here are some examples of how Harry was not horrible. Harry makes Doug feel comfortable in the mine. Harry hugs Miss Mackle. Harry hugs Sydney.
Horrible Harry in Room 2B. The characters in this book are Doug, Song Lee, Miss Mackle, Harry, Sydney, Mary, and Ida. The setting is at school. There are a bunch of events and problems. One of the events is the class goes on a field trip, and Harry promises he would be Doug's partner.
Songley's partner was home with the flu, and Harry ditched Doug, went with Songley. Then Songley ditched Harry to be with Ida, and Mary sometimes being horrible isn't so good for Harry.
It is horrible when he splits the librarian's cupcake with Doug. He is also horrible when he tickled Sydney under his arm and made him scream "I love girls" twice. Also when he said to Sydney, "Great job," and shook his hand and said there was a slug on his hand, but it was just banana.
Harry was not horrible when
he helped Miss Mackle clean the floor.
And when he volunteered to bring up the cupcake and fortune cookies to the librarian.
He was very nice when he said to the librarian, "She is the best librarian ever."